I did it, y'all. I did it. Y'all like my cup? This ain't my cup. This is my mama cup. And I told my kids the other day, I said, I could tell y'all wasn't brought up in a non-denominational Christian Pentecostal Kojic like cult experience, and it shows. And it shows. And it shows. Y'all are not hand clapping, foot stomping little micro saints. And it shows. And then it's like, oh, it's a reflection of me and my heathenism, but whatever, right? I love it. I love using my mama stuff. Hey, girl. But what I wanted to create this video about was to the beautiful soul that left the comment about where she is in this now moment. And the word audacity is there. Y'all, audacity is what's going to get you far. Okay? Audacity in accepting your worth and creating and aligning with what you are worthy of in your life and your reality. I was on a PBS segment yesterday that airs January 2nd, and one of the questions that were asked of me had to do with needs and want. And if someone wants something, and we often hear about our needs and we have to choose between our needs and wants, but my response to that and in that was about the symbiosis that is required between your needs and your wants, and that it all belongs to you. Needs and wants, we what do we say? We prioritize, but when we understand that we meet our needs, we'll also understand that we'll have our wants. When we receive our wants, we know that our needs are being met. So it has to be an effortless, symbiotic flow, right? I'm trying to do the infinity symbol, but I only got one hand, right? But that's your yin and your yang. Without needs, there are no wants. Without wants, there are no needs. Then you wouldn't be able to differentiate. The goal is oneness. They are all you. Your needs can be wants, and your wants can be needs. And so that was a confirmation burp, okay? I leaned into the audaciousness of buying my Versace robe. I shared in one of these videos months ago that one of my affirmations, or like why I desire wealth, right? You have to assign your wealth to something. And for me, my wealth is so that I can sit at home in my robe, eating my snacks. And so my higher self, she lounges in luxurious robes, and she's able to eat her snacks because she prioritizes her protein and her fiber, because she takes care of her body and she goes to the gym and she balances her life out. And so it's like living in the now moment, desiring what you want, but knowing that it's already yours, and expecting and allowing it to unfold. And so every time we interrupt the unfolding with reminding ourselves that we're not yet there, we are extending our time. And there's no right or wrong to any of this, right? This is the learning. This is the leaning. And what people don't tell you, it is the actual process of detachment. Detachment is just not, I'm gonna put this out there as it was 3, 4, 5, and I'm gonna never think about it again. It's a process. It's a process of detaching, because it goes through a process of want, and then it's like want in comparison or relation to your needs. Then it's like, okay, assessment of my 3D reality. Okay, then how does this fit into my current 3D reality? Okay, it doesn't fit into this present 3D reality. It's to fit in another 3D reality, which is another timeline. Okay, this is a whole process that your spirit, your soul, your heart is taking your desire through, so that you can effectively detach from it. Okay, so this beautiful soul, when she was just like, she's been living in audacity. Yes, being audacious enough to follow your intuitive nudges and allowing your life to unfold. If you're experiencing high emotion that you feel is, I don't want to say bad, because none of our emotions are bad. They're energy. It's energy and motion. But let's just say anger. There's something unresolved that you feel like you must punish yourself. So anger is the only way you need to be you can express it. But when you sit down and you lean into it, it can be disappointment, it can be frustration. Like, those are the true underlying feelings and emotions. That it's not anger, it's pain, it's fear, it's sadness. So resolving that, because the you that has your wants and desires is not feeling angry, they're not frustrated, they're in their own zone, in their own world, focused on the experience and the value of their manifestation of their desire. And again, there's no right or wrong to any of this. Why? Because your life is your life, your path is your path. You get to move as fast or as slow as you want. You get to move forward or backwards, horizontal, laterally, or diagonally. There's no right or wrong to how you choose to ascend. It just means that you're here to ascend. I was talking to a sister friend of mine, and I was explaining to her that, the frustration, I don't even have conversations with people. Like, I really live in my own world. I've really accepted where I am in this reality. I really accepted who I am in this reality, in this lifetime, in this timeline, and know that I'm not here to be comprehended by many, because I'm for the few. I'm for the chosen. I'm for the aligned. I'm for those who are choosing the ascended path, which there is no outlined ascended path. The ascended path is yourself. It is your highest self. And so I was telling her, like, the frustration that people experience when talking to people, I'm not even finna talk. I'm going to look at you and be like, you can't even hold my depth. You can't even hold my thought process right now. You can't even comprehend what I'm saying. And some people, I explained to her, it's not just that they're NPCs. Some people really didn't come here to ascend in this specific lifetime. Some people really came here to live out karmic experiences. Some people really came here on a different assignment, which is not necessarily ascension. Some people really came here to commit certain acts or have specific experiences, which is ultimately for their soul's ascension, but maybe not in just this lifetime now moment. And so we get frustrated at people's path. But like, one of the things I learned in therapy, like, my therapist is like, well, Amber, why are you trying to control the situation? That's you trying to control the situation. I'm like, no, I'm not. That's you trying to control the situation. If you're upset that people aren't doing what you would do in a situation or how you would navigate something, it's because you want to control how that person responds and moves through the experience. That has nothing to do with you. So the boundary looks like people get to live their life. People get to do what they want, when they want, how they want, whenever they want. As long as it's not impacting you and your life, it don't got nothing to do with you. To control, now I'm talking to you who wishes and desires to control themselves. In my TED Talk, Life Happens For You, everything is a cycle of death and rebirth. You are consistently becoming new. You are supposed to change. You are supposed to switch up. And that's no different than romantic relationships. If your partner is not growing with you, you're growing apart. When I think of one of my longest standing friendships, it's because we've grown together. There are 3 women, okay, maybe 4. Okay, yeah. There's 4 women from my high school that I am still friends with. 4 women from my high school that I am still friends with. Not because we're all doing the same things or we're behaving the same ways. We have all grown in our own individual paths. We have all chosen ourselves. We have all chosen our authenticity. And that doesn't mean our paths were like this, like linear or up and down. It was all chaotic. That's what we did. And then, like, my longest adult friendship, I'm like, we've grown together. But not because we've grown doing the same things. She's leaned into her journey and I've leaned into mine. And as individuals, we come together and we share that experience. When you are elevating and you are ascending, the purpose of friendship is different. The purpose of friendship isn't for processing your feelings, thoughts, and emotions alone. It's to brainstorm. It's to edify your soul. It's to edify the more of who you are. And so I shared with my community on on another video, where I said you don't want friends on my TikTok, and I was like, you don't want friends, you want people who are going to hold your hand through life. But the goal is self-sufficiency. I don't have the capacity to be friends with people who are not self-sufficient and sovereign in their own reality, because that's how I live my life. If I'm living a sovereign life, I cannot align to anyone that is dependent on someone else or things outside of themselves to create their reality. I'm literally creating my reality. I was audacious enough to buy this robe because I'm like, I live a life. I was telling my masseuse, because I went and got a massage like last week. I'm like, what's going on? I need to go on a vacation. But I didn't want to go on a vacation. I was getting stressed booking a trip. And I'm like, oh, pause. I really have a life that I don't have to vacation from. Like, I am living a life that I don't have to vacation from. I am living a life that I don't have to vacation from. I thought I needed a vacation, but I really just needed a massage. Okay, that's it. And there's no right or wrong, because there are people who travel is in their bones. Me, I enjoy the environment that I've curated and cultivated for myself and my children. And there's no right or wrong to that. I'm living in my sovereignty. So then that looks like people won't understand you. People will think you're weird. People will think you're crazy. People will be intrigued by you and impressed by you. And I'm aware that many people admire me from a distance, but don't connect. That's okay. So like, even what I learned from my mentor, being part of social skills is knowing knowing the impact that you have on people. Knowing and understanding the impact that you have on people. When you walk into the room, how does that energy shift? What happens? This is all a part of who you are and who you are becoming. You have to get comfortable with disturbing the peace of others, even though you don't mean to. Why? Because it's not you disturbing their peace. It's them being disturbed by your presence, because you're reminding them of what they aren't doing and where they may not be just yet. But everybody is a teacher. You all are my teachers. Me being here in this now moment, I am your teacher. Vice versa. I explained to my 7th grader that everybody and every single one of us are living in our own universe. We're all teachers to each other. I had to learn about my parenting, because my kids may feel like, dang, she pulled back on all the spoiling that she was doing. But I had to assess myself, because I'm like, am I just giving just to give? Like, did they earn this? No, I was overcompensating because I'm a solo mom and I have the means to where my children have the ability to live as if they're in a 2-parent household. Okay, that's beautiful. But they went from, I'm so grateful, thank you, and appreciative, to, where's mine at? I get to do what you do. I get to have what you have. And it's like, no. So part of their learning lesson is gratitude and appreciate. So I was explaining to my daughter, I'm like, in your world is going to look different than me, because I had to learn something about myself. You all taught me how I was showing up to you all as your mother, and me pulling back is a lesson for y'all, that okay, if you want more, you have to express gratitude. You have to demonstrate appreciation. You have to do these things, right, in order to get what you want. It's social skills, it's relational, because if not, you're going to be transactional in all these experiences, expecting things from people who don't owe you shit. I tell y'all, I'm raising my children for adulthood, not like their childhood is true adulthood preparation for them to do and be whoever it is that they want and desire. Audacity. That's the way that you live while in the present, whilst also becoming. That is your beingness and your becoming. I'm audacious enough to go to the gym. I'm audacious enough to go take my Pilates teacher certification and my yoga teacher certification. I'm audacious enough to follow my intuitive nudges. I'm audacious enough to do that. So yeah, I bought that Versace robe, right? But I was talking to my sister friend this morning while I was doing it, but I was speaking life into her, and I had to stop, and my spirit was like, I'm talking to you too. I'm telling you too. I'm telling you the same thing. And I'm like, damn, my spirit told me last week to buy this robe and I didn't. Okay, well, I was procrastinating on it because I'm like, oh, this is an exuberant amount of money. But it's not. The timeline that I am existing in, that I am shifting my reality into, it's not. I love investing in myself. I love quality. I love luxury. I love living a luxurious life with ease and effortlessness. Okay, I'm getting there. Why is this important? Because when I made my purchase, the total came to $666.51. 5 plus 1 is 6. So it came to 6666. Okay? This is important because these are the confirmations that our spirit will give us. Okay, so this is for y'all too. So the meaning of 6666 is balance and harmony, a strong reminder to seek equilibrium between your spiritual and material life, right? If I'm living this high vibrational life, nothing is off limits to me. My literal ancestral name, Omotayo Olani Pekun, means I am my ancestors' greatest joy and my success knows no limits, which means I can have whatever I want, when I want, however I want. I told y'all in another video, I am a sugar baby of the universe. I get what I want. I am so fucking spoiled. I am so spoiled. I am so fucking spoiled. I am so spoiled. Love and relationships encourage unconditional love, self-love, nurturing connections with your family and loved ones. I love my family. I love my children. I love my mother. I love my friends. I love my sister friends. I love the community of powerful women that I'm aligned to. Divine support. Your guardian angels are close. They're offering guidance and confirming you're supported in your intentions. So you set your intentions for abundance. Abundance is my reality, which means lack. I don't even understand what that word means. I don't understand what it means. It doesn't register in my brain. Me not getting what I want doesn't register in my brain because my worthiness is abundance. Material needs. It is a sign to trust that your financial concerns will be met as you focus on higher vibrations. In my previous video, I was talking about I'm sitting in my patio drinking my coffee and now I'm thinking about money. No, when I was sitting in my patio before, not thinking about money, but thinking about being in that place where I'm full-time me and I can move as slow as I want to. I live a life of ease and effortlessness. Why would I want to pollute that with a rat race? Why would I want to pollute that with societal programming? No, it's about you creating the life that you desire and that you deserve. Self-trust. It is time to trust your inner wisdom and intuition in navigating life's challenges. I told my mentor, like, I got a light over here on my green wall that says soul freedom. Life is about soul freedom. You're going to continue growing and flowing in the ways that you allow yourself to grow and flow. So yeah, trust the journey, y'all. Trust the journey and be audacious enough to bet on yourself. Be audacious enough to be and also become. Allowing life to unfold doesn't look like you sitting still. It looks like when your intuition says, write that ebook, that you write that ebook. This morning, right before I made that purchase, I wrote the first 3 sentences in my book that Spirit told me to write. My homegirl yesterday, she was like, oh, did you write your book yet? I'm like, no, but I got another book idea. And so when I sat there, Spirit's like, I didn't tell you to write. This second book idea is a cop-out. This second book idea is you not willing to do what you need to do for this other book that you're going to put out. That's going to be transformational. That's going to lead you where you want to lead to. So my responsibility is following my intuition as it's leading me, surrendering to that. If you want to control your life, if you want to create your reality, you have to surrender. Who are you surrendering to? The version of yourself that is already in that reality, because the version of yourself will say, okay, nope, not that romantic relationship. Okay, nope, yes, go into that romantic relationship because there's something for you to learn. Even with my most recent breakup, I told, like, people asking me, I'm cool. There was something that I needed to learn and I learned it, and I'm so grateful, and bless that person, bless them on their path. There was something that they needed to learn from me. Bless me on my path. There's no love lost. There's nothing. It just is what it is. We give thanks. This is what it means to alchemize. This is what it means to transmute. This is what it means to create your reality. You create your reality by living your life and saying, okay, nope, let's move this. Nope, let's move that. Nope, more of this. Nope, less of that. More of this, less of that. Okay, this is how we're going to move. In my TED Talk, somebody says this was life happens for me, never to me. Always for my benefit, never to my detriment. Even in these intuitive nudges, I went to, as it was 2020, right? And 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025. After the gym last night, my spirit was like, okay, go to the gym. But then I was hungry. I left the gym like maybe 8 p.m., a little before 8. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get this type of food. But then my spirit was like, okay, yeah, go over there. But that place was closed. So I went to the pizza shop and I ended up getting my order taken by the owner. And my spirit just had me talking to this gentleman about his business, about the flow of it, about everything, and just about life. And I ended up ministering to him. But I didn't go over there to go to his store to get food. I went over there because I left the gym and my spirit was like, you need to get food and you need to fuel yourself. Okay, go to this spot, knowing that the spot is closed, just because I was meant to speak to this man and speak life into him. That in a nutshell for me is payment enough. Me doing that video that the beautiful soul commented on, and her just that one comment, that and enough is payment from the universe to me. And I know that I'm going to continue being provided for. I know I'm going to continue being undergirded, because I'm here for the aligned. I'm here for those who know and understand, but they just need a little further push. They just need a little more guidance. They just need a little more something. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. I love y'all. If you haven't already, check out my TED Talk. Life happens for you. If you aren't on my email list, please get on my email list, arichbook.com. Connect with me on all social media platforms at a.richbook. If you have any thoughts, feelings, questions, emotions, something you want me to answer and talk about on video, shoot me an email, amber@arichbook.com. I love you, love you, love you, and I'll catch you on the next one.